Well, welcome to the channel viewers. Dr. JWA, theologist, Central Coast, New South Wales, Australia. Who is ruling Australia? A behavioural political analysis, more so a therapy journey for those Australians that need answers, or at least some relief. Episode 19, when Australians started choosing truth over comfort. In episode 18, I explored the quiet redefinition of inherited rights and the growing awareness that Australians were losing constitutional protections through forgetting rather than formal abolition. Now, in this episode, I'm going to examine the moment people begin recognising that emotional comfort and truthful recognition can no longer coexist indefinitely, because at first, comfort still feels safer. Stay quiet, keep functioning, avoid conflict, trust the process, wait for improvement. But right now, Australians have learned how to survive contradiction by lowering emotional visibility while continuing participation inside systems they no longer fully trusted internally. And for a while, that adaptation appeared sustainable enough, and then slowly another recognition began surfacing beneath the exhaustion. Comfort itself had become part of the contaminant. A man sits silently inside a parked ute outside a construction site before sunrise. The radio repeats another carefully managed political interview, explaining stability, progress, recovery and national resilience, and he switches the radio off halfway through the sentence, not angrily, just tired. Because somewhere underneath years of adjustment, another truth has become impossible to ignore. The system increasingly depends upon emotional comfort for replacing honest recognition. And that moment matters enormously, because populations remain governable far longer when survival feels easier than confrontation, when distraction feels safer than clarity, and when exhaustion becomes strong enough to suppress resistance before resistance fully forms. And the paradox deepens further, viewers. Australians are told freedom is expanding, inclusion is strengthening, protection remains secure, opportunity is increasing, institutions are compassionate, yet privately trust weakens, speech contracts, families fracture, anxiety rises, identity destabilizes, and people increasingly feel psychologically managed rather than morally represented. And somewhere beneath the contradiction, many Australians quietly begin recognising something deeply unsettling. Comfort has become the mechanism preventing truthful confrontation with deterioration itself. A woman sits beside a kitchen sink full before sunrise while scrolling through another optimistic announcement regarding affordability, well-being and so-called national progress. And the house feels emotionally heavier than the language entering it. She no longer needs someone to explain the contradiction. Her body already understands it. And that recognition changes people, and not immediately, civilizationally, because eventually enough pressure accumulates that the nervous system stops craving reassurance and starts craving reality instead. And people begin asking, what is true? What is being hidden? What does the language no longer match lived experience? Why does the language no longer match lived experience? Why do protections feel weaker the more they are verbally celebrated? And why does every solution seem to expand management while reducing freedom? And this is where buried constitutional and Christian protections begin resurfacing more clearly. Not through institutional permission, and that ain't going to happen, through existential necessity. Australians begin rediscovering truth about narrative, conscience about coercion, God above government, law above rulers, family above bureaucracy, dignity above utility, and freedom joins inseparably to responsibility. And those foundations do not return because society becomes more religious suddenly. They return because prolonged instability eventually forces human beings to search for reality strong enough to stand against manipulation itself. Comfort could no longer hold the contradiction together. Truth becomes psychologically necessary for survival. The construction lights grow softly now. The country feels suspended between fear and awakening. And somewhere beneath all this exhaustion Australians are going through, another truth slowly begins surfacing. Australia will begin recovering the moment its people choose truthful reality over temporary comfort of managed illusion. I'm going to say that again. This is my closing statement. Listen to it very carefully, because many people are on the end of this on the wrong side. Australia will begin recovering the moment its people choose truthful reality over the temporary comfort of managed institutional illusion. I'm Dr. J.W.A., theologist since 1994. Like, subscribe, comment to educate, share to help somebody else. Bye for now.